So a lot of it for me is being able to process and escape from what's going on around me to be able to process what's going on in me. Welcome to Declutter For Change podcast. I'm your host, Heather Clark, your declutter expert. And on today's episode, we are talking about finding your escape. So what exactly do I mean by that? When clutter shows up, there are different forms. The physical point is the most obvious because it is our physical stuff. It is our rooms are a mess, our counters are a mess, dishes everywhere, all that fun stuff. But what about the emotional and the mental stuff? The stuff that we usually don't realize is coming up, and it is the clutter. What do you do in order to process that stuff? What do you do to not escape from it, but what do you do to move through that area? For me, it's always been cleaning. I know it's a great thing to have, and a lot of people joke about the fact that I'm in the business for a reason because I enjoy cleaning. And I do. It's not even just that I enjoy the actual cleaning and the results that the cleaning does provide physically. I enjoy, for me, what cleaning does mentally and emotionally for myself. Years and years ago, I started my own cleaning and organizing business. And the main reason why I did that is not only for the fact that I did get fired from the cleaning company, not because of my skills, just because my schedule wasn't working for them. I didn't know what to do at that point, and my girlfriend had suggested, she's like, why don't you start your own cleaning business? And I did. I'm really actually glad I did because I was also going through court at that point as well and going through my divorce and everything. And it allowed me personally to process a lot of the emotional and mental clutter that I had during those times. So a lot of it for me is being able to process and escape from what's going on around me to be able to process what's going on in me. And I find that cleaning is my thing, and it may not be yours. It may be going for a walk. It may be hanging out with people and surrounding yourself with high vibe people. That might be your escape to be able to process what's actually coming up. Maybe you need to actually physically talk to somebody and talk it out with somebody. Whereas I go internal and I basically become a hermit when I need to process stuff. I become that person that wants to push everyone away and internalize things and figure out, okay, what's really going on with me? What do I need to do? So in order for me to do that, I pull out a vacuum and I start vacuuming my house. I pull out my cloth and my cleaner and I start cleaning the baseboards and the frames and the light switches and all that stuff, because that's how I process it. That's how I escape the physical part and I go internally. So you need to figure out what is yours. What do you need to do in order to figure out and bring that subconscious stuff to the surface so that you can consciously heal it. So you can consciously understand where this stuff is coming from, because a lot of the stuff that causes the physical clutter is so much more than just the physical part. It is absolutely the mental and the emotional in our subconscious mind that is coming out in our physical world. Everything internally shows up externally. You need to figure out what is your way of escaping so that you can process those things. So you can process the mental and the emotional clutter and go, okay, this keeps coming up. Why have I been thinking this? Or why have I been feeling this? Like, what is it about the situation that this keeps coming up? And let's say yours is going for a walk. Like your escape is going for a walk. You love being out in nature, you love being out with the birds or animals, all that stuff. Bring a pen and paper with you and just keep it with you just for those moments, because as you're out there, as you're just enjoying the moment, enjoying the now, something might come up. Something might come up and you'll be like, whoa, what was that all about? Write it down. Even if it seems like the most absurd thing that just all of a sudden came to your thought, write it down. Don't overthink it right then and there. Just keep going, enjoying the moment, enjoying what you enjoy doing and your escape. So like with me, when I'm vacuuming, I'll just vacuum and I'll make sure, okay, I'm doing the carpet, doing this, doing that, whatever. And then all of a sudden a thought comes to my mind and I'm like, whoa. So I go to my desk, write it down, and then I continue vacuuming. I don't overthink it right then and there. I let it come out and I put it down. Then when I'm done my cleaning, I can come back to these notes that I've made and go, okay, now what is it of these notes that was trying to come through me? Maybe it's certain thoughts of, oh, you can't do that. This will end up happening. Or sometimes actually, it's really funny, is sometimes you'll actually get the best ideas too. So many people have said they'll take a shower and their best ideas for their business comes in the shower. These are the kind of things, it's because we're allowing the subconscious to come to our conscious mind, but doing something that just allows us to be in the moment, allows us to just process anything that's coming through, allows us to do that physical movement to process that mental and emotional movement that's in us. Maybe it's not even the negative stuff. Maybe it's the positive stuff that's like, oh my gosh, this idea comes through. And you can write that down as well. It's not always negative. Clearing out the stuff, the mental and the emotional stuff, brings through ways that the good stuff can come through too. The good ideas, the flowing of your next big idea or something that you were thinking. I remember with my son, there was at one point where in school, he was not himself, let's call it that, where he was getting in trouble, he was doing certain things. So I was like, okay, what's going on? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to directly ask him. I'm going to just get him to clean his room, or I'm going to get him to do something physically so that he can allow those mental and emotional things to come through. Later on that day, after actually as a family, we ended up cleaning the entire apartment. He had actually discussed with me something that was on his mind and had probably been on his mind for a while, but he didn't know how to come out and say it to any adult. So it bottled up inside him and caused him to act out in certain ways or to say certain things or to do certain things that weren't in his character. Even doing the physical walking or cleaning or journaling or dancing or whatever your escape is, whatever your outlet is, for you to process things, do that when you're feeling unproductive, when you're feeling quote unquote stuck, when you're feeling that maybe you're over emotional, or although again, I hate when people say over emotional because we're human beings, we have emotions and we have a variety of them. Saying it that way does allow you to understand what I'm referring to. But even when you can't think straight about, let's say, your client's work or your work, go to your escape and do that. Do it for 10 minutes, 15, half an hour, however long it takes you, so that you can process and bring the subconscious to the conscious, write it down, understand where it's coming from, and then you can either heal it or act upon it. So like I said, if it's an idea, act upon it, try it. See if it's going to work. Go talk to people. Say, hey, this idea just came to me while I was doing this. What do you think? Or do you think this is possible? Or if it's something that comes up that was a feeling or a thought and brings you to tears, that's something that needs to be healed. So you can do that now that you've brought it to your conscious. You can understand that, okay, something like this needs to heal. What is it of this that needs to heal in me? So that's why I say anytime you're wanting to declutter, anytime you're wanting to clear out things in your life, you need to understand what your personal escape is in order to process that stuff. Mine is cleaning. Maybe yours is walking. Maybe yours is dancing. Maybe yours is working out. I know a lot of people that their thing is working out because it allows the different internal chemicals of your body to get your brain working, to get the emotions going, to get the whole entire body moving. Maybe today's is you need to turn on the music and dance. That has never been my escape. That is just when I have the kids and they just enjoy dancing. But maybe that's yours. Maybe your escape is art. Maybe you enjoy doing art. Maybe drawing or painting or sculpting, whatever your escape is, so that you can be in the now, so that the mental and emotional stuff can come through. The energy around us is changing so rapidly, and just understanding and knowing where you can go and just escape And I'm not saying escape reality. I'm not trying to say, let's put a band-aid over the situation. No, it's so that you can take whatever it is that maybe you're not consciously aware of that's bothering you. Go do that thing that allows you to process things. It's about shifting that energy and changing things up so that you can bring the subconscious to the conscious and actually do something about it. That is all for this episode. And if you would like to join a bunch of us that are also on the same journey as you, decluttering their lives from the inside out, from the outside in, join us at our Facebook group, which is at bit.ly/declutter group. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.